Big alert for every pensioner watching this. If you receive a pension, this video could save you a lot of money. Right now, thousands of pensioners across the UK are losing out on up to £180 a year on their TV licence, and most of them don't even realise it until it's too late. Imagine checking your pension statement and finding it short and having no idea why. That's the confusion thousands of pensioners are facing right now. In this video, we'll break down how and why this deduction is happening, which pensioners could be affected, how to check if you qualify for a free or reduced TV licence, and what steps you need to take right now to protect your money. Every pensioner, each and every family member of a pensioner, needs to see this before it's too late. So before we dive in, hit that like button to help this crucial information reach more people who need it. Let's get started. Big alert for every single pensioner watching this video right now, because what I'm about to share could directly affect the money landing in your account every single week. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because if you skip this, you could end up losing money you didn't even know you were entitled to keep. Right now, all across the country, pensioners are opening their letters, checking their bank statements, and asking the exact same question. Why is my TV licence suddenly such a big deal, and could it really be linked to my pension payments? This isn't some random rumour floating around. This is a genuine, growing concern, and thousands of pensioners are worried they're going to lose money they simply cannot afford to lose, and honestly, I don't blame them. When you're living on a fixed income, every single pound matters. A missed detail, a missed form, a missed deadline, and suddenly you're paying full price for something you might have been entitled to get for free. So let's slow down and actually understand what's happening, because the confusion around TV licenses and pensions has been building for years, and it's only getting more serious. Here's the reality. The standard TV license fee in the UK right now sits at £180 a year. That's not a small number. For someone living purely on a state pension, that's a significant chunk of their yearly income disappearing just so they can legally watch television or use services like BBC iPlayer. And here's where it gets even more important to understand. Not every pensioner has to pay that full amount. In fact, some pensioners don't have to pay anything at all. But the catch is you have to know the rules, and you have to actually take action, because nothing happens automatically unless you make it happen. Let me explain exactly how this works, because this is the part that trips so many people up. If you are 75 years old or older, and you or your partner living with you receives pension credit, you are entitled to a completely free TV licence. Not discounted, not reduced, completely free. That's a benefit worth £180 a year, sitting there waiting for eligible pensioners to claim it. But here's the problem, and it's a massive one. Hundreds of thousands of pensioners across the UK who are entitled to pension credit simply aren't claiming it. Maybe they don't think they qualify. Maybe they've never applied because the process feels confusing or overwhelming. Maybe they just don't know it exists. And because they're not claiming pension credit, they're also missing out on that free TV licence, on top of missing out on the extra income pension credit itself provides. It's what experts have called a double loss. You lose the benefit, and you lose the free licence that comes attached to it. Now, this is exactly where the fear and the confusion start creeping in, because when pensioners hear talk of TV licence fees being linked to pension payments, many immediately panic and assume the worst, that money is simply going to vanish from their pension without warning, without their permission, without any say in the matter. And look, that fear is completely understandable, especially when so many pensioners have already been living through years of rising bills, rising energy costs, and a state pension that often doesn't feel like it's keeping pace with the cost of living. When you're already stretched thin, any hint that more money could quietly disappear from your payments is genuinely terrifying. So if that thought has crossed your mind, you are not alone, and you're right to want clear answers instead of vague warnings. What we do know for certain is this: TV licensing does offer various ways to pay the fee if you're not exempt, including spreading the cost through smaller payments across the year rather than one lump sum. For some pensioners, that makes the fee more manageable, but it still means money leaving their account regularly, which is exactly why so many people are desperate to find out if they actually qualify for the free license. Instead of quietly accepting, they have to pay. And that's really the heart of this entire situation. It's not necessarily about some hidden, sneaky deduction nobody agreed to. It's about pensioners not realizing what they're entitled to, not realizing the rules have changed over the years, and ending up paying for something they might not have needed to pay for at all, simply because nobody told them clearly enough. So before you assume the worst, or before you assume everything is fine and there's nothing to check, I want you to stay with me, because in the next part of this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to check your own eligibility, what pension credit actually involves, how much it could put back in your pocket, and the exact steps you need to take to make sure you are not one of the pensioners quietly losing money simply because nobody explained this properly. Because trust me, what comes next matters even more than what you've just heard. All right, let's get straight into it, because this next part is exactly what could put real money back into your pocket. Let's start with pension credit, because this single benefit is the key that unlocks so much more than people realize. Pension credit is designed to top up the income of pensioners who are living on a low income, bringing their weekly income up to a guaranteed standard amount. Right now, that standard amount sits at around £238 a week for a single person, and just over £363 a week for couples. But here's what most people don't realize. Even if you think your income is slightly too high to qualify, it's still worth checking, because additional amounts can be added on top for things like disability, caring responsibilities, or housing costs, which means plenty of pensioners who assume they won't qualify actually do. And this is exactly why so many charities and pension experts keep repeating the same message over and over. If you haven't checked your eligibility for pension credit, please check it, because the numbers are honestly staggering. There are still hundreds of thousands of pensioners across the UK who are entitled to this benefit and simply aren't claiming it. That's not just money for everyday living costs slipping through the cracks. Remember, pension credit is also your gateway to that completely free TV license once you turn 75. So when we talk about TV license fees and pensions being connected, this is genuinely where the real connection lies. It's not some hidden deduction happening behind your back. It's a benefit sitting there unclaimed, and until you claim it, you could be paying full price for something you never needed to pay for at all. Now let's talk about what happens if you don't qualify for pension credit, because you're not necessarily stuck paying the full £180 either. If you live in a care home, supported housing, or sheltered accommodation, you could be eligible for a heavily reduced fee, sometimes as low as £7.50 a year. If you are blind or severely sight-impaired and you can provide the right evidence, you're entitled to a 50% discount straight off the standard fee. These are real, genuine concessions that exist right now, and yet so many people simply don't know to ask for them. And that right there is the biggest danger in all of this. Not some secret conspiracy to drain pension payments, but a genuine, widespread lack of awareness that's costing ordinary pensioners real money, month after month, year after year. So here's exactly what I want you to do the moment this video ends. First, if you're 74 or older, apply for your free TV license in advance, because TV licensing will automatically adjust your payments so it kicks in right on your 75th birthday with no gap and no hassle. Second, if you haven't checked your eligibility for pension credit, do it today, not next week, not next month. Today. You can check online, you can call the pension credit helpline directly, or you can ask a trusted family member to sit down and go through it with you, because the application takes a bit of time, but the payoff can be genuinely life-changing for your monthly budget. Third, if you or someone you love lives in supported housing or has a visual impairment, look into those reduced fee and discount options immediately, because that money adds up significantly over a year, and there's no reason to keep overpaying simply because nobody flagged it to you. I also want to say this clearly because it matters. If you have older parents, grandparents, neighbors, or friends who might not be watching videos like this one, please share this information with them directly. So many pensioners who are missing out on these benefits are the ones who are the most isolated, the ones who don't have someone checking in regularly, the ones who simply never come across information like this because nobody in their life happens to mention it. You checking in with one phone call, one conversation, one simple question like, hey, have you looked into pension credit? Could genuinely put hundreds of pounds back into somebody's life every single year. That's not an exaggeration. That's the actual scale of what's being left unclaimed right now. Look, at the end of the day, the real alert here isn't some hidden trick draining your pension without your knowledge. The real alert is that too many pensioners are quietly losing money simply because the system relies on you knowing to ask for help rather than automatically giving it to you. And that's exactly why videos like this one matter so much, because information like this needs to reach every single pensioner out there, not just the ones lucky enough to stumble across it. So if this video helped you, or if it made you think of someone in your life who needs to hear this, do me one favor before you go. Hit that like button right now, share this with someone who needs it, and drop a comment letting me know if you've already checked your pension credit eligibility, or if this is the first time you're hearing about it. Because the more this reaches people, the more pensioners we can help keep the money that's genuinely theirs. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.